You are about to experience some of the best days of your life because he's calming the storm. I got to read this to you. I got to bless somebody with this. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my Bible out. I got to bless somebody with what I was studying on today. Listen to me. And listen, this is going to really bless you in Matthew chapter 8. Oh, I need somebody to just pay attention for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Within the next 20 minutes, I'm about to change your life. If you could just pay attention to this right here. I'm about to teach you how to come up out of a storm with barely doing anything. I'm about to teach you how to come up out of a storm with, jeez, Matthew 8, watch this. Matthew 8, verse 23. Let me just read a little bit. Matthew 8 verse 23 says, and he got into the boat. His disciples followed him. We talking about Jesus, baby. As he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. Watch this. As he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And then it says, suddenly a violent storm arose on the sea. Let me stop right there for a moment. Baby, it's something about a suddenly. When God allows the enemy to suddenly attack your children, it can knock you up off your feet. When God allows the enemy to suddenly attack your finances, Holy Ghost, I feel you. It can knock you at your lowest. When God allows the enemy to suddenly touch your health, it can throw you off game. But I need y'all to pay attention for just a little bit more longer. Tonight's message, if you are just now tuning in, is God is calming the storm. It said as he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. Watch this. Some of you, baby, your friends are like disciples to you. So when you go through the valley of the shadow of death, they step out and take a leap of faith going in the jungle with you. Watch this. Everybody can't step in the jungle if they can't fight. Everybody can't step on the battlefield if they can't swing. Too many of you are walking with people who don't know how to fight. Too many of you are walking with people who claim they got your back. Too many of you are walking straight in the woods into a deserted dark area, thinking you got some soldiers with you, and they scary as heck. Do you hear what I'm saying? When you go on the battle wheel, baby, when you go on the battlefield, who you choose to be your disciple, the person you call him bestie, your best friend, your loved one, your best cousin, I don't care who it may be. Make sure when you go into fight, baby, you got fighters with you. Too many of you taking people who can't fight with you. So when the enemy merely whops you, everybody else feel it too. Where they do that at, man? Somebody ought to comment below. I need fighters on my team. I need fighters on my team, baby, because what I am going through, can't no wimps go to war with me. Somebody ought to comment below. Can't no wimps go to war with me, baby. Can't no wimps go to war with me. It says in Matthew chapter 8, verse 23, as he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. It says, then suddenly a violent storm arose on the sea so that the boat was being swamped by the waves, baby. That means it was something powerful. It was some kind of attack, baby. If the boat began to rock a little, sometimes when the enemy is getting you from the left and right, sometimes when the enemy is knocking you east and west, you're going to begin to rock a little bit. Your knees might get a little shaky where they want to crumble. You might feel like you exhausted and tired and want to give up. But baby, you got to hold on just a little bit longer. I'm getting ready to teach you how God calmed the storm. And now he's calming the very storm in your life. It said, watch this. It said the violent storm arose on the sea so that the boat was being swamped by the waves. Do you know that even in your mind, you can go back and forth with should you live or die? It said the boat began to rock. Do you know that in your mind, you can go back and forth with do you want to stay or leave them? Could I just tell you a minute? Can I be honest for a minute? Do you know that in your mind, you can be rocking back and forth with God, I trust you. But Jesus, it don't look like you're moving quick enough. God, I'm trusting you for my bills, but it's looking like I might have to pawn my TV. God, I trust you for my bills, but I might got to give my car title for a loan. It go to rocking you in your mind sometimes. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. God is getting ready to calm the storm, it said, so that the boat was being swamped by the waves. It said, but he was sleeping. They are in the boat, the people with him. The disciples losing their mind. I can only imagine they out there on the waves. They being hit by lightning and thundering. They being waved to and fro. And they go in there and check up on Jesus. And he there chilling. He's sleeping like he had just took NyQuil. He knocked out like he on a Percocet or cough syrup. Let me break that thing down so somebody can get it right now. Jesus is knocked out like he took 3 Tylenol RPMs. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? They up top losing their mind. This is why I say when you go in the battlefield, you got to make sure everyone who is battling with you can fight, baby. Jesus wasn't worried about a thing. So even when the storm began to come, baby, he couldn't feel nothing. Some of you, the storm has hit your bank accounts, but you shouldn't be able to feel nothing. Some of you, the storm has hit your marriage, but you shouldn't be able to feel nothing. Some of you, the storm has hit your body, but you shouldn't be able to feel nothing. Some of you, the storm has hit your children, but baby, you shouldn't be affected by it. It said, when they went to Holy Ghost, I feel you. Oh God, I thank you for every storm form. I feel it all in my body, God, the people are going through. But if you just give me a few more minutes, I'm going to release you right now. I'm going to help you calm the storm and make the devil mad. It said, watch this. So the disciples, they came and woke him up because he was asleep. Jesus probably was dreaming and chilling. Maybe dreaming about who he was going to heal next. I don't know. But he was in such a deep sleep, he didn't even feel anything going on. So it said that his disciples, they came and woke him up saying, Lord, Lord, save us. We're going to die. Baby, when you in a storm, baby, you better make sure you got some fighting people with you, baby. When you are in a storm, baby, you better make sure some people around you can help you pray. When you are in a storm, baby, you better make sure you got some warriors on your team. Somebody ought to comment below. I ain't looking for wimps. I'm looking for warriors. You can't follow me and be a wimp, because anybody connected to me gonna tell you, I'm gonna remind you to toughen up. Get yourself together. Realize who you are. It said that the disciples began to wake him up and said, Jesus, I need you to save us. If you don't, we're going to die. Watch this. This part right here is going to bless you. I thank you for all the Cash Apps, PayPal, Zelles, and Chimes. If God is leading you to sow on tonight, baby, you better put in the memo section, God is calming the storm. Watch this, people of God. It said, but he said to them, why are you fearful, you of little faith? So I'm going to stop right here and ask you the same question. You, the one that's watching this video, I don't care if you're watching me from Church's Chicken Parking Lot. I don't care if you in Walmart, baby, on the alcohol aisle. I don't care if you at Wendy's getting a 4 for $4. I'm going to ask you the same question. Why are you fearful, you of little faith? Did you forget that God brought you out of the last thing? So why are you fearful? Didn't you pray and give it to him? So why are you fearful, you of little faith? I know you in the midst of a storm, baby, but God is working that thing out, baby. I know you in the midst of a storm, baby, but God is calming the storm. I don't know who I'm speaking to on tonight. Tonight's message is God is calming the storm. It said in Matthew, baby, when Jesus stepped into the boat and his disciples followed him, it said he fell asleep when the storm came along. They were so afraid they woke him up. He was sleeping real good. You know why he was chilling like that? Because he gave it to God. Somebody ought to comment below. Ever since I gave it to God, I've been chilling. You ought to comment below. God, ever since I gave it to you, I've been able to sleep good. Jesus was knocked out like he was on on Tylenol PM. Jesus was knocked out like he was on Percocet or sleep medicine. And it was nothing but a natural sleep. He was so deep sleeping, baby. You know why? Because he trusts his God. He trusts his daddy. Somebody ought to comment below. I'm the child of a king. I'm the child of a king. He trusts his daddy in the middle of the storm. So when his friends was losing their mind and they said, wake up and save us or we gonna die, he woke up. I can just imagine. It's something about when you in a deep, deep sleep. I'm talking about he was probably sleeping, snoring. He was probably asleep with slob coming all down his throat. Baby, it's something about when them good sleeps kick in. I remember telling my husband one time, I was dreaming so good. And he woke me up out of my sleep because he had a migraine that night. I was pissed, excuse my language. I was so upset because when I woke up so quick. I couldn't remember the dream, but I was sleeping so good because it's something about when you can get a good night's sleep. You don't sleep thinking about the cares of the world. So it said Jesus was not cold sleep. When they woke him up saying, help me, I can only imagine him like this. Oh, you of little faith. Why do you fear? You the one that's watching this video. Oh, you a little faith. Why do you fear? Stop waking Jesus up out his sleep. If you already prayed about it, he's calming the storm. If you already gave it to him, baby, he's calming the storm. Oh, you a little faith. Stop praying about the same thing over and over. Begin to thank God for the very thing. And if you really gave it to him, you won't be worried. You won't be double-minded, weighing to and fro. 1 minute you trust him, 1 minute you don't. Just like how that man do you. He loves me not. He loves me not. 1 minute he loves you and the next minute you don't. But you still trust him to come home to you. 1 minute he love you and the next he don't. But you're still trusting him to leave his baby mama, his wife. How you put so much trust in a man who don't even give you respect. But you can't trust the God we serve. Hallelujah, Jesus. Somebody ought to comment below. God calm the storm. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, he's doing it. God, I dispatch angels to their house right now. God, I dispatch angels to their apartment right now. God, I dispatch angels to the shelters right now. God, I dispatch angels. Even if they're sleeping in their car, it's not by coincidence that you tapped on this video. You ought to continue to tag and share. It's not by coincidence. God is calming the storm. It said, but he said to them when they woke him up saying, save us. It said that he said, save us or we will die. It said Jesus responded, why are you fearful? You of little faith. It says, and then he got up. That right there blessed me, baby. I know he had to be upset. You get what I'm saying? When you in a good sleep and you think you got some soldiers and some fighters with you who can handle petty things like the storms and they scared depending on you. If you are the strongest prayer warrior in your circle, baby, you need to reroute. I had some millionaires tell me when I was just in Texas, baby, if you got the most money in your circle, you need to add new friends. Nah, baby, if you the strongest prayer warrior in your circle, you better upgrade your circle. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody go through it. Everybody get hit. It said, then he got up. That let me know Jesus was laying down. We don't know if he was laying on a bunk bed on the boat. We don't know if he was laying on an air mattress. We don't know if he was on a blow-up bed. All we know is he got up. It said, and then he got up and he rebuked the winds and the sea. I command right now under the sound of my voice, the very thing you are going through right now, I command it, I rebuke it, I send it back to the pit of hell. May every mountain be removed right now in the name of Jesus. Oh God, I thank you for all the seeds being sown. If God is leading you to sow in the message area, I need you to put God is calming my storm. Right now, I decree and declare, Lord God, you're already shifting and doing it. You're calming every area that is causing so much noise in their lives where they can't hear properly from you. God, you're calming every evil word spoken in the